Maxie, on your left shoulder.
There, mate. Here he is, the captain. Now, what about this? Ronald Dale Barassi, the premiership captain of the Melbourne Footy Club's just wanted in here. Maxwell Gawn, can you believe that?
That's pretty special, eh? That was a long time coming. That's 11 years for me, but 57 years for a majority of other people that have been supporting us. So it's been some pretty grim days, but today's pretty special.
I know you've got a great appreciation for everyone at home, and there's a whole hundreds of thousands of people, and some old Melbourne boys have been wearing this jumper, have been feeling it and doing it tough, and they've come together in a magnificent way. And you got a message for those boys back there?
There's something weird going on with our past player group. It seems to be the strongest group, and there is a lot of tragedy that's followed the club. We've had Troy Broadbridge, Dean Bailey, Jim Steins, obviously what Neil Danaher's going through at the moment, Colin Sylvia. We've had a lot of tragedy that's followed the club, and it's really bonded that group. And I feel privileged to be part of the Melbourne Football Club and part of that group. I'm not a past player yet, but I feel like I'm part of that group, and I can imagine your phone is going absolutely off the charts with messages from that group. And you see a couple here, Chris Johnson, Shane Woden, Danny Hughes, Jack Tringrove's coming in.
Big Bernard Vince is here.
Yeah,
He's
Bernard's got
about 45 cans, I reckon.
So it just shows how special this is for this group.
So people talk about the premiership, and then I'm sweating like a pig here. You build it up, and then it arrives. I know it's only early days, but it is everything you hoped it to be. What was that lap like?
That lap was pretty special. I mean, I love Perth and I love what it's done, but it would have been so much special if there was friends and family and Melbourne supporters that were here, but that 100,000 Melbourne supporter crowd that could have been at the MCG, it would have been really special with that, but it was so special with the adopted crowd that we had and the loyal guys that have travelled from South Australia and whatnot, and it was some good moments.
You see Neil Danaher there in the corner, he'll be sitting back watching that. I mean, what a thrill for him and for all of that. Now, Ronald Barassi, the legion of ex-Demons are just watching. I can't believe how they'd be feeling right now.
Well, I'll let you in on a little secret. Neil Danaher's quote was posted all around our walls tonight. It's when all is said and done, more is said than done. And it's about, we've talked lots this year about how we've culture changed, our selfless approach, how Clay Noller and Christian Petracca are balanced, and we've talked that. It was our time to deliver, and that's Neil. That's exactly what he said to us, and that's what I said in my captain's speech. And although we got tested throughout that second quarter, and you would have been a little bit nervous, as we all were, but yeah, Neil was living through us tonight.
What about the coach, Simon Goodwin, who low profile, low key, but what an impact he's had on your group? Just tell us a little bit about him.
He just holds such a calm head, and I get that people get frustrated by his press conferences because he does give the same answers, but we love that. He's that rock solid coach that we need. I mean, he goes off chops every now and then, as all coaches do, but he's just so rock solid. And today, the way they nutted out what Western Bulldogs would give us, and then Western Bulldogs had to change their way they were playing in the second quarter because we were winning, and then we were able to combat that after half-time. That's just great on-field coaching. So I know people were calling maybe for his head at the start of the year. That's how funny this rise has been. We've gone from 17th to 9th to 1st, but he's a tremendous coach, tremendous person, and a great friend.
You're a premiership captain, mate. It doesn't get any better than that.
That won't sink in for a while, I don't think. At the moment, I'm a premiership player. The whole captain thing, I've got to pinch myself at times. This club's been through a lot, and we finally got it.
Best thing about winning him is celebrating him. I reckon you might do a bit of that in the next day or two.
I think I'll be behind May and Hibbard. Hibbard's a strong favourite. Actually, Bernie Finns is probably the strong favourite.
Bernie's way out in front, mate. He's got a big head start on you. I'm giving you a tip right now.
We got 2 or 3 days in Perth, which will be good.
Enjoy, mate.
Thanks, guys.
Hang on, mate. Johnny Brown's got a question for you.
What about his pub back here in Melbourne? Will it be an open bar when it opens back up in a couple of months?
Brownie wants to know whether you're going to have an open bar when everything opens up back in Melbourne.
I thought he was going to go with a Durry question. Open bar. We had a little action today at East End Wine Bar today, but it's closed. We've got to get Dan Andrews to open that hospitality section back up, but I will. Once it's open bar.
Go and enjoy it, mate. Yeah, there he is. Just, if he wasn't already a legend of the footy club, he is now, boys.
Hey, Garry,
premiership captain.